everyone to After Dark with Ted Ings and an amazing group of people tonight. I'm so happy that all of you guys are here.
Kara, this is an amazing panel that's been orchestrated for tonight. And I don't know about you, but I am super excited to talk about digital marketing and all the things occurring there. And Kara, our good friend Owen Moon from Fixed Ops Digital is with us tonight. Owen, welcome.
Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for having me. I'm super pumped for tonight. I've obviously been putting this together for a few weeks, but I mean, look at this group. I'm going to sit back and just learn like the rest of us. So that'll be great.
And Owen, Kara and I are really excited that you are here tonight, not only on behalf of Fixed Ops Digital, but you're supporting our exclusive sponsor for tonight. And Kara, who is that?
It's BG Products. Thank you so much, BG Products. Partners Beyond Products. We would not be able to do the show without you guys every single week. So we just want to thank them for being one of our main sponsors.
And of course, Fixed Ops Digital as well, Owen. And I say that because you've got the BG 50th anniversary in your video box there. So I think that looks really good, Owen.
Yeah, I'll share the scene with them. That's fine.
I think your background is doing it for you, though, Owen.
Yeah, it's a new background. I'm kind of digging it, actually. So.
And Owen, you're in a new office tonight, right?
Yeah. I moved into a new office this month and getting my studio ready for podcast interviews, live shows, things like this. More of this kind of stuff. So kind of excited for that, and looking forward to maybe a few more of these this year. So.
Yeah, I like that. Also, I want to welcome Samantha Foster from UVI, who is back again. Command Return Performance. Samantha, welcome.
Watch out, I'm back.
And hey, Samantha, you've got a whole lot going on right now with UVI. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. We're so excited about everything we're doing right now. We're excited to be partnering with GM. We're collaborating with them on a few new things. So it's a really exciting time here at UVI.
Yeah, I couldn't help but read that in the last couple of days, Samantha, that General Motors is partnering with you. And I see some of our friends there from UVI as well. Big announcement on LinkedIn. It's been in all the major news media as well. So congratulations to UVI. And not only will Owen Moon and Fixed Ops Digital be on our next show coming up in September, Samantha, but I understand UVI will be leading a panel as well.
Yep, we got Jim B coming on, and he is going to lead an incredible panel for us. So it'll be one to watch.
And Kara, that's going to be in September sometime, right?
It is. And I hope everybody watching right now joins us for our 3-day virtual event called the Roaring 20s, because it's September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And you can get your tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com. And why wouldn't you? Because they're all complimentary. So make sure you're watching. All of these wonderful people are going to be on there as well. So don't miss out.
Wow. And that's a great theme, the Roaring 20s. Are we going to get to dress up for that or what?
Oh, we're dressing up, Ted. And I'm just holding off to show everybody what I'm going to be wearing. But I'm even more excited to see what you're going to wear, Ted, and what maybe Owen's going to wear.
Yes, I think Owen will be the surprise of the event. Now, Kara, is that the only event that we've got coming up this year?
Oh my gosh, no. We have so many planned for this year. Y'all can see on the screen now. Not only our September event coming up, but we have one in November as well, which is the 15th, 16th, and 17th. Then January to follow, 24th, 25th, and 26th. And then wrapping it up on May 16th, 17th, and 18th. So we have a lot of major events coming up, guys. They're all virtual and online, and you can be looking for your tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com.
Wow, that's pretty extensive. And Owen, we've got a new friend here. I do not know George. We just met in the green room before we got started, but if you'd introduce him, Owen.
Yeah, absolutely. George Jones, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark. George is the director of marketing for a 20-plus store group, DCD Automotive, and they've got dealerships up and down the Northeast. So, George, talking online service marketing, I thought what better person to bring on, but one of our great partners that has a big group, and love to kind of hear from big store group, stores that have a lot of stores, and kind of what they're doing, because obviously as you start to multiply stores, the challenges go up, right? So.
Yes, they do.
Well, George, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark. Great honor to have you. And also, Owen, we've got another new big dealer here as well.
Yeah, Nick Varney, welcome to the show. Nick actually is part of the Varney Automotive Group up in Maine. He's one of the executive managers there, and what I like about Nick, bringing Nick on, is that he's part of a family business, right? He's 3 stores and domestics, and they've been, the business has been in their family for years. So excited to hear what Nick has to say regarding some of the challenges that they've been facing over the last couple of years and kind of where they're looking to go. So.
And Nick, welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. I'm excited.
Super, great to have you. And Brad Pascal is here from Fixed Ops Digital. Brad, welcome back.
Yeah, man, I'm great. I'm glad to be back. I'm super excited to be on here with a bunch of rock stars. And I'm super excited for UVI. I'm a big fan of UVI and their technology, and I'm super excited to see the GM thing. I couldn't wait to send Sam a text and congratulate them. They work really hard. They have a fantastic team over there. So, and we're super excited to have a lot of good connections that we have here. Ted, you do a great job of bringing people together and creating a forum to where people can share information and learn from each other.
Hey, and I really enjoyed doing your show just about 2 weeks ago as well, Brad. And by the way, we are live tonight. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and we are on YouTube. And I see we've got another big name in Hunter Swift who's joined us. So Hunter, welcome. Glad to have you here as well. And then, of course, Kara, we've got one more person who's new to the show, and I've seen her before on Dealer Discourse, but I'll let you introduce her.
Yes, we have Leah Webb on here tonight. I believe it's Leah's first time to speak on one of the roundtable events, but Leah does so much with Foundation Automotive for all of its marketing and working with all of our stores, the fast growing company. So welcome, Leah. I'm glad to have a friend and a coworker on tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really looking forward to having some really great conversations with everyone. I see some familiar faces, so I'm really happy to be here.
Super. Well, a lot going on and a lot to get into, Leah, tonight. So, Owen, I'm going to kind of let you take the lead since you are the guru, Owen Moon, on digital marketing, all things fixed ops. So I'll go ahead and turn the reins over to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much again. We only got about 20 minutes here, maybe a little bit more. So I want to kind of get right into it. So, when Ted and I were talking about doing this panel, we really wanted to focus on online service marketing, kind of see where things are going and that type of thing. So what I want to do is I'm just going to, kind of looking based on each of your background, I'm going to kind of ask you guys some, maybe some questions, let you guys kind of lead that. And then obviously I'd like to have other people, jump in and that type of thing. So, Leah, why don't we start with you? Obviously, as the marketing director for a 30-store group, and obviously you've got other stores that you guys are, potentially going to be announcing here this year. That's got to be a lot, right? And so, obviously, as the marketing director, you're wearing a lot of hats. You're kind of maneuvering throughout the day. But one question I had for you, as far as from the service side, and then as anybody else can kind of jump in as well, is how are you guys doing that from because you guys are acquiring stores, so you're taking other cultures and other strategies and things like that are already being done before you come in. What does that look like from your guys' end? I mean, are you guys letting everyone kind of run their own ship and just kind of making sure that they're doing good based on numbers, or are you trying to shape sort of the culture and maybe even from a vendor side, bringing in different vendors and things like that to kind of help sort of bring them into the foundation culture? What does that look like on your guys' side?
Yeah, I think it's really important to learn what the base level is before you go in and change something. I think we've learned that as we've acquired and grown. And so I think the overall, view of that is, let's see what the dealership is currently doing. Let's see where they are. We've been very fortunate to acquire some really successful dealerships. And so it would be a shame to go in there and just change everything, right? So the goal is to make sure that we are looking at every metric, especially on the service side, and saying, okay, what's the best fit for this dealership? Because as we know, all dealerships are not the same. But there is a very core value that runs through all of them. And on that being service, we've been very fortunate to partner with Owen and his team, and we found some great success in that. We've run into some dealerships as we acquire, and they say, this is the end all be all for service marketing. We say, all right, let's, give that a shot. And then we say, well, there's also some ways you can improve that. There's an opportunity there for us to dial that in a little bit more. Do you want us to show you how? Let's work on this together. And fortunate too, we have some success stories that utilize different tools. So we have the ability to say, okay, well, this dealership in this market's very similar to yours, and I think this might be a good fit for you as well. So a lot of coaching, but also a lot of listening and understanding at the dealership level and looking at each metric and then the metrics as a whole.
No, that's awesome. And so you're not definitely going in with an iron fist, right? You're sort of going in and kind of observing first, and then from there deciding, what's the best route. I would assume though, whether it be like in the not just marketing, but sort of in the drive, or in the service center tools and things like that. It seemed like you would probably want to eventually maneuver into more of a consistent, strategy amongst them all, so you can, for training purposes and things like that. But obviously that takes a little bit, especially in the car business. I mean, we're not all Best Buys here, right? Where you can walk in any Best Buy and basically, grab the keys and you're off and running. Everybody sort of has their own thing. So I like that. George, obviously you've got a lot of stores. What is your thought on that? Are you doing something similar, or, what have you found to be a little more your strategy or your style?
Yeah, I think with us, when it comes to service marketing, the important thing is you go with what you have, right? Meaning that do something, right? Which is whatever it is that sets you apart. I see so many. You can literally go to any number of websites. Go to the dealer site. Their service page looks exactly like the last guy's. Right? Why is that? Is your service bay essentially a cookie cutter bay that offers the same things? No. So lean into that and tell your story. I mean, we just worked with one of our dealers in dealerships, I should say, in Newcastle, in Delaware. Creating some SEO content. And I remember the challenge there was basically our current SEO partner. They're really good at what they do, right? But the first round was essentially, hey, here's the content we're going to write for you around, I believe it was tires. Pretty standard, pretty vanilla, right? Didn't really say anything. Certainly wasn't branded for us, didn't tell our story. But that's where the partnership part of that comes in, right? To understand that is just a rough draft, and it's where you go from there. And so we worked with them, we partnered with them, giving them ideas. We even went so far as to have some interviews with our service techs, our service director, including some of that in the content. It really created at the end some content that's really going to begin to brand ourselves in our own market. And that's not revolutionary, I know, but it kind of is.
It's amazing it's not being done, right? Well, and it's funny because, this is my 22nd year. I'm dating myself a little bit, but 22 years helping dealerships with marketing, right? A lot of that was spent on the sales side for many years. And so all we really ever had prior to the internet was the why buy message, right? Why buy from us? Why buy from the dealership that I'm working with? So I would have to, kind of scratch and claw to try to get someone to tell me their why buy. Well, we've sort of taken that same approach with the why service message. So, that why service message has to be more than just we do oil changes, right? Everybody does oil changes. It's what sets you apart. So some of the things that when we look at our strategies and our tech, we're trying to integrate with, like repair financing companies, for example. It's because not everybody offers that. So to have that as a part of your strategy needs to happen like on the website, inside the service lane, in the customer lounge, all the way through. And so it kind of takes me to another question I have with Samantha. UVI, obviously you guys have a really solid piece of technology. It's being used in the service lane. But what do you feel about, the marketing that goes for that? Not necessarily your marketing to the dealers, but how does a dealer, do you think it would be beneficial to promote your technology, prior to them coming in? Website's a great place to start, but email marketing, and if you do any direct mail, anything that's retention based, is this the time when dealers should look at things like UVI and maybe even other solutions and say, hey, I got to get that message out there prior to that customer being sitting there in the customer lounge? Do you feel like that's something that you guys have focused on with your clients, or is it something you're still trying to kind of develop?
Yeah, absolutely. So as part of our onboarding process, I actually meet with every single one of our dealers right now that onboards with us, and I provide them assets. We talk about best practices, and we really take a custom approach because we know that everyone goes to market a little bit differently. So we want to help our dealers separate themselves with our technology in more ways than one. So I really believe that you should let the consumer know what's happening in the service lane. So this piece of equipment is going to affect everyone that drives in. And because of that, we always recommend sending out an email, letting customers know, hey, we have this new piece of equipment, and this is what you're going to get now when you drive through our service lane. Starting to build that relationship, starting to show them how you're investing in your service lane, you're investing in keeping them safe on the road, and how you're going to give them a better customer experience. How now you're going to be able to have conversations within just seconds of them coming into your service lane about the health of their vehicle. So I think it's a really powerful message, and I think that message should come well before they drive through the service lane.
I think that's
Linda Hansen says she loves UVI, by the way, Samantha. And
Thank
Samantha,
you, Linda. We love all of you. And Brad, we love you too. We are
thanks.
a fan of fixed stops.
So UVI is so cool, right? So it's so cool. We had them on the Tactical Tips Tuesday, and Samantha and Michael Kirk did a fantastic job. But I think the dealerships that are winning are the dealerships that do kind of what Nick does, right? With his Varney values. And you brand each part of the dealership, right? So you create a brand, and then you have a brand umbrella. So you can brand UVI as whatever you want to come up with in the dealership, just the same way you brand your vehicle acquisition, or you brand your quick lube, or you brand this, right? And I think those are the dealerships that are winning because it's showing those values within the stores. And so I think that's what's so cool about UVI and dealerships like Foundation. Foundation has two companies that they run that they've branded together, and George brands stuff within the dealerships. So I think that's, if you start to look at the common theme across all of these people that are being highly successful, is they're creating brand umbrellas around service and around all of the products that they have in the stores.
So it's not just about the technology then, right? I mean, obviously the technology is great, but you have to get it out to the public that, hey, this is what the technology is, this is what it does, and this is how it's going to benefit the end consumer. And if everything that you do, so we have as a tech company, as a marketing and tech company, we have a responsibility to make sure that we're providing value to not only the dealers but also to the consumers, right? So when we're building our tech, we really look at it from the consumer side first, and then decide, hey, what things do we want to put into our technology? And if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't make sense, you have to, sort of pass, even though it might be a great idea and be something that's, really cool. It's what happens at the end result. And I think that's something that, as Fixed Ops Digital anyways, that's what we're trying to do. But I think more companies should really look at it that way. And, if they come across something that's going to really help the customer, then that's the time to go under the hood and actually develop it. And so great points. And I definitely agree. I think anytime you're putting that stuff on the website, getting it out in your marketing, making sure people know that it's available, it's a great thing. So Nick,
Owen, if I may, by the way, some great comments that have been coming in from Mike Canfield and Sean Amoir over in Canada, and Michael Barrett here is using the T word, Samantha. It's transparency. And Owen, we're starting to hear a lot about transparency and being transparent with the consumer. Remember, Leah, a couple years ago, it was F&I being transparent with the customer. Owen and Brad, now it's service and parts being transparent.
Yeah, and we've been pushing that message since we opened the doors. You know, we had a hunch that if you put transparent pricing out online as opposed to dollars off or percentage off, that it was receiving more attention, right? More engagements. Well, now with our technology, we've proven that we get a lot more engagements on pricing.
And I
What
think
customers want.
I think that's what Nick does so well, right? So Nick, well, I'll turn it over to you, but he took over a store that didn't have transparency pricing in the front or the back. And so, Nick, kind of tell us a little bit about your process that you went through over the last year and a half to kind
Yeah,
of
8 months. About started in August. So yeah, it wasn't. We have like our big store, our Buick GMC store, and that's kind of where I spent most of my career working. So I started in the reconditioning bay, and I've done PDIs, I've worked through the different departments, and kind of had dipped my toes in the water and everything. And then an opportunity, because of COVID and it being hard to find people and everything, we had a general manager that left over the weekend during the summer in an opportune time, and in a family business, I was kind of ready to go try my own thing, and I raised my hand and went and did it. And I hired a really close friend of mine that worked at another store nearby to kind of be my partner in crime on the whole thing. And together, we've had really good success. But yeah, it just came down to being upfront with people, not being afraid of telling people what, hey, it's going to cost this, like and doing everything we could to try to save the customer money through, policy empowerment tools, my rewards points, working with our reps, whatever we could do to try to save the customer money. Like I say, if I can get it covered under warranty, I will. And if I can get it so that you don't have to spend any money, I absolutely will. But there may be some participation in this, but we try to work with people as much as I can. And, sometimes, like Brad said, we do discount deals, we take low margin deals. They're fast transactions too, so they take less effort. So I think a lot of times people think, like, I'd rather work all day to make, $5,000 on this one job or whatever. Well, I'll vacuum up the peanuts. Like, I'll do all the small micro transactions and have it all add up. It takes a lot less time. It keeps people engaged, your staff engaged, because they're dealing with new people all the time. It's a lot less mentally exhausting because they're not, getting beat up with people and playing games with people, and subconsciously, I think these people that do that stuff, they really know that they're playing games with people too. And after a while, it burns them out. So I just find it's easier. If you make a mistake in pricing, I go out, you got me. I'll honor it, because they're going to say they made a mistake on the price and they honored it. And that's true, but it's the right thing to do. I know a lot of people would pull people off the ceiling, and, I've been in the car business. My family's been in it since the 90s. So I've been through all kinds of, and grown up at the dinner table, knowing all about all the stuff that people used to do back in the old days, and different than what they do now. And I was able to kind of take a little bit of everything and put it together. And, we're nowhere near where we need to be at that store. But the biggest thing is like somebody there that they can believe in and be like, listen, I got this. If it all falls, it's going to fall on me. So let's just go. And everybody's, really bought in. And it's been exciting for me and my family. And
I think
once I get some more inventory, I'm ready to go. So
I think that's a great point, right? So all common throughout this panel, right, is that it all starts with relationships, right? And you saw Sean Armour say, or you saw those guys talking about tools coming in. Well, yeah, all the tools are there, but they're there to help you scale relationships, right? That's all the tools are, to help you scale relationships. And so Nick has such good fundamental relationships with his crew that it's easy to take that and market that. Same thing with George, same thing with Lee, same thing with the Foundation Group and Samantha. That's why it's so easy. And Samantha says this all the time. She says, when we win, we all win together, right? So she says it all the time. She told me that the other day when I congratulated her. She said, well, when we win, we all win together. And I think that's the cool thing about the group of people that's on the screen, is that we're all here to try to win together, and we're all here to try to help out other people win.
Hey, Brad, if I may, since this is Nick and George's first time on the show, let me get a little background for our viewers. Nick first, and then George. Nick, tell us about your dealerships, what franchises, where you're located, a little bit of the lay of the land there, and then I'll ask the same thing of George.
Yeah, I'm Nick Varney. I'm from Bangor, Maine, born and raised. I've spent my whole life right here. So kind of interesting for a lot of people in the car business bounce around. I've pretty much grown up in the same like 15-mile radius my whole life. My family has Buick, GMC, Chevy, Ford, and Mazda. My father started with it was Scania dump trucks, Isuzu trucks, and GMC. It was 10 units maybe they had in stock, a very small store. And over the course of 90 to 2008, he grew it to be one of the top 25, top 10 GMC stores in the country, in a town of 30,000 people. But my grandfather started selling auto parts out of the back of his car. He worked for one of our competitors in town. Was the last job he ever had, working for somebody else. And he started an auto parts store when my father was a kid. And I think they had 25 or 30 locations when they sold out. And my uncle now and my grandfather do insurance. So we have insurance, we have cars, and my grandfather runs an internet company at 81. So yeah, we're a close family. We all try to work together, collaborate as much as we can. And I refer customers to them, they refer customers to me. And, Maine's a small knit community. So you kind of have to do right by people. And that's why being transparent, like where I'm from, you can't take advantage of somebody like like some of this stuff, because it'll ruin you. One Facebook post, I don't know if everybody saw, but there was something that happened up by us, and it's just not a small town, but so I think it's really important to just do the right thing. I think that's what my grandfather, my uncle, my father, whenever I ask what's the right thing, do the right thing, take care of customers, the rest will sort itself out. It's kind of the way I live my life. And the big thing for me is taking care of my people too. I try to do as much as I can to make them feel appreciated. I try to be the goofy, fun one. My dad I let my dad be the kind of assertive, mean one. You don't want to deal with him, but, and I think that way we don't have to quite be as intense with people. And being younger, and some of our employees at our Chevy store being younger, we connect a little bit more, because I kind of say, hey, listen, I need 100% out of you every day, but I realize that 100% is maybe 90% sometimes, but I just need everything that you can give me every day, because some days mentally I'm not there, some days mentally you're not there, but just give me everything you got every day. And
that's awesome, Nick.
That's
great.
Kind of been how we've made this kind of work in a way.
Very cool.
George?
There we go. Yeah, I was reading Dusty's comment. Hey, I think for me, George Jones, I've been in digital marketing for what feels like ever. I started way back when you could just literally throw a bunch of keywords up there and call it a day and go pick up a check. But I've kind of seen that evolution over time. And then one thing led to another. I was actually working on what they call the other side of the desk, as a vendor prior to this role. And then I came here, and now I'm a director of marketing here at DCD Automotive. So we have 25 stores throughout New England, all over Mass, all over Delaware, New Hampshire, et cetera. It's really, I think earlier we were talking about how it feels like there's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. It's times 25. Every problem that surfaces is across 25 different stores in a different version of that same problem, a different iteration. But what you do end up getting, I think, really, really good at is communicating what the expectations are, communicating with and actually being a partner to your vendor partners, which is really important. I mean, I think, Fix Ops Digital is one of our best partners, but they know as well as I do that, it's a two-way communication. So when there's a meeting, you show up. When there's an email, you reply, right? I know it's
Sounds pretty basic, right, George? But
What a shocking revelation, I know, but
George text you on a Sunday, you send him a text back. So, which I think you and Lee should start a support group for everybody that has over 20 stores.
yes.
I agree. Yeah.
And by the way, Leah, we've had a number of people from Foundation Automotive on the show. A fellow named Kevin was on last fall. Another fellow named Chuck. I got a chance to meet Justin. And Leah, every time they come on the show, they're telling us about these more stores, new acquisitions. Leah, maybe tell us, what are some of the latest things that have happened with Foundation as well?
Yeah, so we are definitely growing. We have some things in store coming up this summer. You'll have to stay tuned. I am still sworn to secrecy at this point, but you'll definitely have to watch and see. We've grown. We've really just partnered with the dealership South Fork. Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is our newest acquisition, and it is doing extremely well. And we're really proud of that store. And we're just really proud of our dealer group as a whole. They support each other and they share best practices with each other. And that is so important within the group. And I think that's what helps make us so successful.
Love it. 3 big dealer groups here tonight, everybody. So great job to all of you. And Owen, I think we're going to have to come back and do part 2 of this. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll just keep doing these online service marketing panels, and we'll dig a little deeper every time. So this was great. The thing that I noticed the most about tonight was just the communication that's needed between the vendors that you work with, obviously the processes that you guys are putting in place. Whether it's a slow process, Leah, like when you're buying stores that have culture, or Nick, you guys obviously have family culture that you've installed for years. And George, just having different stores in different markets, you've got to be able to kind of deal with all those different personalities. I know that Samantha, obviously being a vendor, you're kind of on our side where we're working with all these dealerships all over the country that have all these different personalities, and we have to be able to evolve our communication styles and things like that to fit the dealer, not the other way. And so I think that's one thing that we try to do every day with Fixed Ops Digital, is to bring good ideas, to bring good technology, good solutions, but more than importantly, just be that vendor that's willing to listen and to provide any insight or guidance that we can do. And obviously these guys are some of the best that sit in their side, and we really feel fortunate to be able to partner with them as well. So thank you for the opportunity tonight, obviously.
And I'm so glad, Owen, that Foundation Automotive got a chance to work with Fixed Ops Digital finally. Now that they've seen the rest, they've seen the best. And that says a lot about Fixed Ops Digital, Brad. And the same thing, Leah, with UVI. They are an amazing company. They're growing. And I can't imagine, Samantha, what the future holds for UVI with what you're doing. You're just, you guys are just doing amazing things out there. And I'm looking forward, Samantha, to the panel that we have with Jim in September. And that topic is completely unexpected. So what we'll be talking about there is completely new for the industry.
Well, we are innovating at lightning speed. So stay tuned in September. It's going to be a whirlwind.
Yeah. And poor Kara, you and I didn't get a chance to say very much tonight.
I know, how weird, Ted. We always do all the talking.
No.
We let Owen cover it, though.
Yes. I took. You guys could have just took the night off, but someone had to turn this thing on. I wouldn't have known what to do. No,
I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't mention that Justin bailed on us, but we upgraded. So I just want to put that on the record.
Thanks, guys.
I just want to put it on the record that Justin bailed on us, and we upgraded. So,
Ted, how much time we got? Do we have enough time for closing?
I think we're there, Kara. What do you think? We're pretty.
I think so.
Go ahead, Owen. Take one more.
Well, the only thing I was going to ask is what's next, right? So we've taken online service marketing, we put a spotlight on it. Prior to 4 years ago, no one was really doing anything online. Everything was direct mail, email. The question is, what's next, right? What are the things that we're looking, as a dealership community, what can we do to help with transparency, to help with integrity, things like that? Is there anything that you guys are seeing right now, or maybe even in just your peripherals of what you guys want to do to help get there. And George, I know we didn't really touch on some of the data stuff that you were interested in. Maybe that's it. Maybe talking about how do we be transparent in data and things like that. But does anybody have anything that they'd like to add on kind of what they see the future is? Real quick, 30 seconds or less, so we can not give Ted a heart attack here on the on live on the air. So anybody got anything they'd like to throw out there?
It takes me more than 30 seconds just to get warmed up, so I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, Nick, give Nick a hand. This is his first webinar, man. He did fantastic.
Good job. Great job, Nick.
He did fantastic. He's a in the trenches sort of guy, which is why we love him. And I think, just being problem solvers, right? That's the whole big deal. Solving problems. If you need help with anything, all these people are really, really fantastic and well connected. Please reach out, please reach out and let us help you.
Yeah.
And Brad, I think we got to invite Nick and Leah and George on the show in September on the big event, which is going to be 3 days long, Samantha. And we're looking forward to that. And Carol, when is that again?
Yes, it's coming up quick. September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So guys, get your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com. And I hope to see all of you wonderful people at the show.
Great. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. Great job tonight. And by the way, if you want to watch this event, if you missed part of it tonight, we've got a new option available. Right,
we do. Yep. You know us from LinkedIn and Facebook, but we also are now on YouTube live every single Monday and Wednesday from now on. And make sure you subscribe, guys, because if you miss something like this great show, you can go back and rewatch it, or if you want to share it with somebody, and you can catch all of our live videos there as well.
Yep. And this one is going to be on YouTube. It's broadcasting right now, and it'll be the playback will begin in just about a minute or two. So you'll be able to watch it right away. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being on tonight. Wonderful job, Owen.
Thank you
so much. All of you were great. It was great to know, get to know some of you guys that I don't think I've seen yet, but nice to meet you virtually. Thanks for being on our After Dark show. And on behalf of Ted Ings, Owen, Samantha, George, Nick, Brad, and Leah, I'm Cara Delane. Thanks for watching. Catch us Wednesday at 8 p.m.